What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. Now, this is actually kind of a somber video. We got some very, very interesting news developing out of the CFL, I would say, in the last week. And it is good and bad in the sense of change, but also, like, what's going to happen with the season. So, Carter, take it away.
It's kind of something that it's been growing for a bit, and it's finally starting to actually take effect.
It's manifested finally.
We're starting to feel the repercussions of that, and we're going to feel that more moving forward. But so it has appeared that the CFLPA is going on full strike, and that, you know, they have not come to an agreement with the CFL, and in very much CFL fashion, the CFL had the entire offseason to deal with this shit.
Never did.
Didn't, because CFL being CFL. And it's interesting because, I mean, there's a lot of places that are going to be like picketing, where they'll, you know, invite fans to go on strike and whatever. They're not going to be doing that in Winnipeg. Actually, where they will be doing that, I guess I'm going to say today, because by the time this goes up, it will be of this day. But the Tiger Cats, from 9 to 10:30 a.m. it looks like here at Tim Hortons Field, are going to be holding a picketing thing there for the strike. And I know the CFLPA has instructed quarterbacks and other members of teams not to attend the rookie training camps. So this all goes down to the CFL and paying their players.
Yep.
So there's an interesting few things I saw. I remember I was watching I was reading a tweet by Bob Irving, where someone asked, like, you know, do you think the CFL is hiding revenue because they haven't released anything? And Bob Irving actually made a very good point, where it's like, look at the fucking attendance. There's no revenue to hide. There's no money stash anywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what, though? Am I the only one that finds it funny that right as we find out the league's going to go on strike, the Lions announced that One Republic is going to open for the season opener for the season? Like, that's a major band. Like, One Republic is going to perform like a few songs, like their own halftime show to kick off the season at BC Place. That's not a cheap little thing. Now, I know the Lions have a new owner with some money, but am I the only one that finds it a little strange that you have a concert announcement to kick off the season for one team, and then a strike and then people are now talking about hidden revenue? Like, I feel like the best way to put it, ladies and gentlemen, how I feel about it is that maybe there's not hidden revenue from the league, but clearly these owners have the ability to pay the players properly. They just don't want to because the revenue's not there. And that's why they didn't bother to talk. Because how are you going to come to a negotiation for money when there really isn't any league money being brought in? It's all individual based on how much an owner has.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially, I mean, this is very important for a league like this.
Very important. There's only nine teams, whatever it is.
Like more important than a sports league like the NHL or whatever, because the NHL, they can afford to go on strike however much they want. They make what you call fuck you money. They make so much money that whatever happens, they'll recover. They'll be fine. The CFL is not on that boat.
Not even close.
That year that they didn't play, that hurt. And it's also like that when it comes to the players. The difference between $1 million and $5 million contracts is not nearly as big as $80,000 and $300,000.
Yep.
That is a much big, because $1 and $5 million, you can live off both of those.
Absolutely.
$80,000 and $300,000, that is not at all the same situation, especially in a place like Canada, where the vast majority of places in Canada have a higher tax rates than they do in the United States. So that's a big deal.
And we know for a fact, even just talking to players, alumni and current, they all have other sources of income. The hell, we just talked to Johnny Augustine a couple of months ago when he's a full-time real estate agent.
The real estate agent that is Johnny Augustine.
And complete shout out to that man for like going and getting graduating from that and going to school and doing it. That's awesome. But like, should a football player really have to do that in his off season because he needs to do it for money wise? Because like Carter was saying, they're not getting the money where you're like, you know, fuck you money, even though $1 million nowadays isn't really necessarily fuck you money. But still, like, these guys are severely underpaid compared to all the other leagues of football in North America when we're talking about XFL, AFL, and NFL.
And now we're even talking about USFL. I mean, they've been in full swing going this season. And this is coming down to I really think that it's time that the CFL consider moving on from Randy Ambrosie, because it
They
really
have to.
feels
He's done nothing to grow the game,
he's
man.
the
Nothing.
Vince McMahon of this league, in the sense of he's so out of touch where the CFL needs to go in the future. Where he understands.
We've talked about that, Carter. There is no direction.
Maybe in the past, but this league needs a direction, and they need to understand that now, unlike 10 years ago, there is viable competition for the CFL. The USFL and the XFL will pull players. They will. They're in the United States. A lot of players won't have to move. And they'll be able to pay less in tax. They'll keep more of what they're making. And these leagues are offering to pay their players more.
Not to mention the fact that
you're going to want to, and the advantage that the CFL has is being able to promote themselves as the stable league. This is a bad look for them.
Very bad look, especially when you also have the talks about them removing the Canadian limits in drafts.
Now you're hearing that everyone's on strike, and like this can seriously hurt Canadian football. And I think the CFL needs to realize that they are going to need to start throwing around a bit more money if they want to start to see some of it come back to them. They need to realize that
Dude, I don't know why that's such a hard topic for this league to grasp. And every other professional sports league in the world,
they just want to hold on, and that's the problem.
But like, they're not holding on.
Otherwise, there will eventually be nothing to hold on to.
Dude, how long can you hold on to a sinking ship before you're fully underwater? And let's not act like we haven't been sinking for a long time.
Just sticking their finger in the hole and letting
Dude,
all the other ones let the water
I remember when
in.
I was a kid, talking 12 years ago, going to Lions games, and they were sold out for just random regular season games. They were packed. Now, they're giving tickets away. Hell, they gotta put One Republic or whatever the band is just to get people to come to the opener. The only time they even had a sellout last season was when they gave everyone in the crowd an orange shirt for Orange Shirt Day. It was a BC Lions orange shirt giveaway. Everyone got one. The only game they sold out because of a giveaway. There's no draw. Think about it. Vancouver, dead franchise. And I love the Lions, but they have no draw in this city. No one cares about them.
I would love to hope that new owner is really...
Me too, and I think he's going to change it, but you have a lot to... Look, when a city doesn't even care about the Canucks when they're bad, how are you going to get the people to care about the Lions? Like, let me put this into perspective for everybody that watches this right now. We have the Whitecaps in Vancouver, okay? And if you don't know what the Whitecaps is, it's MLS soccer.
MLS.
The MLS, when I was a kid, nobody gave a shit about them. Did they have a draw? Yes, but the Lions were bigger. MLS now completely dwarfs the CFL when it comes to the attendance and how many people actually care about it in the city. So not only do you have the Lions falling further and further down that peg, I would even argue that the fact that the Vancouver Canadians, which is baseball and also is minor league affiliated to the Blue Jays, that's even rised up a little bit with interest in the city. I think the Lions are dead ass when it comes to Vancouver. No one cares about them here. Same with Toronto.
That's sad to see.
It is. And Toronto and Vancouver should be two of the biggest markets.
And obviously Toronto is going to have that issue where, obviously they're a city that
Toronto has the same thing that Vancouver has, but even more.
All the top sports leagues. The only one they're missing is the NFL. So there's always going to be that sentiment of why isn't there an NFL team here? But it's like you need to. There are how many million people are in Toronto? Like you can't get like 20,000 out to a game.
Exactly.
Especially with the team they have now.
We're talking about
signed Andrew Harris.
We're talking about a team that couldn't even sell out their playoff game, man. They couldn't even sell the Eastern Conference Final.
Brandon Banks, one of the top 3 receivers on the market. You got
some of the biggest legends of the last 20 years in the CFL on one team now.
You have a guy who can throw his money around, but you don't have a guy who can say hey, look at this. There's a reason to come see Argos games.
Dude, I know,
and it's sad to see. And it's
the CFL should thrive, man. Canada is such a damn good sports country, and it used to be such a great league, and people cared about it. Dude, I don't even know the last time I was actually able to have a legit conversation about CFL football with somebody other than Carter and other than you beautiful people in the comments section. And I'm being serious. Like nobody cares. And how can you when You have so many football leagues, especially the NFL. And let's be real, Toronto. Well, you got 2 teams in New York. You've got Buffalo. You've got Cleveland. You've got the list goes on of how many teams are so close to Toronto as it is NFL wise. The Seahawks. Russ is gone now. Will that affect the bandwagon fan base in Vancouver? Probably. But that doesn't mean that all those guys are just going to automatically become bandwagon Lions fans. They're going to stay with the big league. No, the CFL will never grow with the way it is right now. It's only going to sink even more. So, Carter, you're right. Clear out everybody in the upper management of this league.
And it's funny. I didn't even hate the rule changes that they made.
I thought they were good. I thought it was kind of spicy a little bit. I'm like, this could work.
Pretty decent. But the issue I'm seeing here is not that the rule changes were bad. It's that the CFL thinks that these 8 small rule changes are the magic formula to fix all of their problems.
They're not even acting like there's needs to do more.
So fucking far from the truth,
dude.
They had one season of subpar scoring, and they thought, oh yeah, we're just gonna make rule changes, and then people are gonna come to games. No, you have to give them a reason to come to games. And so I think that seriously, I think it's good at least that the CFLPA is getting the attention that it needs, because I know a lot of people who didn't even know there was a CFLPA until this shit started coming up. So I hope to see some changes. I hope we don't have to go through a lockout. I hope that
it won't get that far. I mean, if they don't play this season, the CFL's done, Carter. They can't afford 2 full lost season revenues within 3 years. It would kill them.
Like, I mean, I'm looking at TSN here. This was from May 15, a tweet by Dave Naylor of TSN. The CFLPA is expected to hold a town hall meeting today, at which they will provide more information and direction to their membership on day 1 of the strike. This was May 15th, 8:27 a.m. And yeah, and it looks like 7 of the 9 CFL teams are basically going through with the strike. The only 2 exceptions being Edmonton and Calgary. So the Alberta teams have decided they're still going to be going to training camp and whatnot. But I mean, 7 out of 9 teams.
It's a lot.
Vast majority of the league.
And let's be real. When you have the 2 biggest franchises in Saskatchewan and Winnipeg joining in on that strike, not a good look. If anything, the one team you would hope would be the back-to-back champs that wouldn't think they would need to strike. But even then, we know for a fact that the Bombers' offseason was lowballing players.
Yep.
So...
lowballed the local town boy.
That breaks my heart, but you know what? It's politics. That's another conversation for a different day. But nonetheless, It's just, look, if you're asking me right now as a fan, and that's all I am as a casual fan. Like, I'm not a casual fan. I'm a diehard fan. But, like, when it comes to, like, the knowledge, Carter's the expert. I'm the guy here to give the content. I'm the fun guy you like to listen to rant about the CFL on this channel. Carter's the brains of the operation. We all know that. But, I gotta say, if the CFL can't get their shit together and at least get something going down with this deal and whatnot soon, they're not gonna last 5 more years. They won't. If you really think a league like the CFL can afford to lose 2 full seasons of revenue potentially within the span of 3 years, I would love to have something you would have what's in your cup. Like no, that is crazy.
This DFL give me that impression of the paycheck to paycheck of professional sports.
Dude, they're literally the crack addict going to the money mart every end of the month. Like, hey man, you got my fix? Like, they're the money mart line man. That's seriously what the CFL is. You don't see the other big leagues, even the small leagues, having to struggle as much as the CFL does to pay rent. Fuck, I think the Arizona Coyotes can pay rent easier than the CFL can at times and make do with their bills.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? At the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I'm going to remain hopeful as a fan, but I hope that whatever result comes from this, that it'll be good for the league.
I want to know your guys' comments down below.
Me too.
You know, if there's something that we didn't touch on here, please comment that down below. I'm sure we're probably going to have another thing coming up about update on whatever the situation is, whether it continues.
We will keep you guys updated with all this.
End to the strike. So if you have any information that we did not discuss, please comment that down below. Also, leave your comments on what you think the CFL should do to fix this, shitty situation. And, what kind of an agreement needs to come out of this. Because obviously the CFLPA has some needs that they want met, and the CFL is very hesitant to
to
well,
agree to those demands.
go through with those. So,
Hell yeah. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts too, as always. So make sure to go down in the comment section below. Do what Carter said. If you're first time listening to this channel and you are a fan of the CFL or football, definitely consider dropping a subscription, dropping a like, follow us on Twitter, check out all the affiliated links down in the description below as always. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Go Bombers, go! CFL, get your shit together. And bye-bye.